Live from Uvalde, Texas, the crossroads of Texas and America.
Texas Country at the Crossroads with Robert Miguel.
The best new country from the Lone Star State.
All right. Here we are live at the Uvalde Grand Opera House. I'm Robert Miguel, your host, upstairs in the beautiful white room of the historic Uvalde Grand Opera House. 1891. That's how long this thing's been here. Long time. Caitlin's here. Make some noise, Caitlin. We're going to get some plugs from Caitlin later about all the cool stuff going on at the Opera House. Maybe she'll give us a recap about the awesome show that I missed this last Saturday with the Texas Comedies. So that'll all be coming up here within the hour. But right now, let's welcome our special guest, Mr. Dakota Ritter. What's up, buddy?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, I'm great, man. I'm glad you mark on this. So we do this just about every Friday here since the spring started, and even before that. And everybody's usually 5-10 minutes late or walking right in the door on time. You were here like half an hour early.
Hell yeah.
And you drove like 6 hours to get here.
That's right.
So, young man, so that's much appreciated. So now, where are you coming in from, man?
Well, today I was coming in from just outside of Alba, Texas.
Okay.
But I was born and raised in Jefferson, Texas, so I guess that'd be like 8 hours from here. But today was about 6.5, 7 hour drive coming on the other side of Dallas.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. I've got feels far from Dallas.
Yeah, exactly.
So coming all the way out here must be crazy. But we are really honored and just so stoked that you made the trip all the way down here, man, to share your music, to share your story, and to perform for us live tonight at Broadway 830. So now, have you ever been through Uvalde, Texas, Uvalde County? Ever made it this far down?
No, I haven't. It was kind of funny. So my harmonica player, Donnie, he actually, when he was working like on the rigs and stuff up north, and he'd come here and he started to work actually around Uvalde, and he loves the hill country. That's his big thing. Fredericksburg, you name it. And so when we were first I was thinking of Uvalde. I was like, that's hill country, right? Or is it South Texas? He's like, it's right there on the bubble. So no, I think it was really cool. I did lose going through the two towns beforehand, Uvalde, though. My map was spinning me in like 80 different directions.
Which highway did you come down?
90.
90, okay.
Yeah, so when I was hitting on 90.
So
yeah, those two, Hondo, yeah. It was trying to take me on some back roads everywhere and roads that don't exist. Yeah. I was like, I'm never going to make it.
And your map, your series, like rerouting.
Yeah, we had to go old school. We had to just like watch the road signs.
When you go to Uvalde, if you're coming from a certain distance, it's best to print out the MapQuest like it's like 1996. It's good stuff, man. Well, Dakota, again, thank you so much for making the trip all the way down here. Are you heading right on back over there, or what's the story?
What we'll probably do is we'll probably stop in town on the way back. My buddy Donnie was supposed to be here to me, but he lost his granddad last night, so
oh my Lord,
he stayed back, but we're going to, I think we'll probably stop in Austin tonight and go to Waco in the morning. But, yeah, it's kind of a light weekend. We wanted to have, I think we got one show and some studio stuff going on this week, and then back on the road heavy next week with Hayden Haddock. Wow, very cool. Well, we're going to talk all about what you do, your story within Texas country, where you've been, where you're going. But let's go ahead and play your current bottle, right? It is. So we'll get that on the air, and so everybody's already heard it on the radio. We'll know, hey, this is who we're talking to, Dakota Ritter. So give us a story about the bottle, and we'll get it on the recorded version. Yeah, so the bottle, this song kind of came to me. It's about my dad. My dad was kind of, he had his own addictions and kind of struggles with my mom's marriage, and they spent a lot of time together trying to make things work, and I just didn't realize the backstory of it growing up, Right. And kind of seeing it through, the bottle kind of walks through different lenses throughout the song, and telling that story, not just of my dad, but of anybody that has ever had somebody in their life that's ever had someone struggle with alcoholism or addiction of any kind. And it was just kind of a cool thing to write. I actually wrote it with my mother. She's kind of a caveat poet, and so I was writing some things, and she kind of gave me some of her little lines, and I kind of transformed them and changed them. The next thing you know, I wrote a song, and it has actually sounded different before we recorded it. We recorded it, and the night before I changed the whole song, went into the studio and said, hey guys, I know y'all were learning it one way, but we're going to do it this way now. It was a change. And that's the way it did. I think it was a 2-take track. So, well, I got to say, when I heard it, I mean, it evokes a lot of emotion. And obviously, there's a story. I was not sure if it was your story, but it's interesting to hear that this is essentially a firsthand. 100%. That's fantastic, man. So, have you had any feedback from people who have a similar kind of story to tell? We, one thing when we were playing just in Broken Bow, Oklahoma, a couple weeks ago, with John Wolfe, and I was singing that song. We actually had two young fellas that came up after the show and said, "Hey, we really love that song." They related to it from their granddad, and so we do get people that come and relate to the song. I think it's just kind of cool to kind of relate to someone on that level. It's kind of one of my more favorite songs from a lyrical standpoint that I've written in a long time. So I wrote it a few years ago, but we didn't really get to start recording it until this past year or so. But it's kind of cool. I was happy. I wasn't sure if I was going to release it as a single or not, but I just said, "What the heck?"
It is definitely one that gets a reaction, and
Yeah.
it's good country. So let's check it out again. Yeah. This is Dakota Ritter. It's called "The Bottle." I'm sure you're going to hear it live tonight at Broadway 830. But really pay attention to the lyrics on this one. It is a good one on UvaldeRadio.net.
He always knew how to make mama cry. He left her all alone, yeah, each and every night. You can hear him start to rain when he chased it cold. Daddy was a good man with a broken soul. Mama left a ring on the table with a rose. Lost her heart the day the bottle wouldn't close. And I know he loved her, but he loved Jack a little more. Now he drinks all day long, even more than before. And he drinks that bottle like a sailor on the seas. Yeah, he drinks that bottle till he was weak in the knees. And the devil tied the knot with each and every sip. If the bottle couldn't kill him, then the loneliness sure will. But without that Johnny Walker, Daddy couldn't stand. So he calls on Captain Morgan to steer his lonely ship. He'll drink the 7 seas until he forgets. And he drinks that bottle like a sailor on the sea. And he drinks that bottle till he's weak in the knees. And the devil tied the knot with each and every sip. If the bottle couldn't kill him, then the loneliness sure will. Gone a few years now, and I've seen him through his lens. A heart don't know how or when to give, so I left an empty bottle just sitting on his grave, so he could keep drinking while he rides the wave. And he drank that bottle like a sailor on the sea. Yeah, he drank that bottle till he was weak in the knees. And the devil tied the knot with each and every sip. No, the bottle couldn't kill him, but the loneliness sure did.
Texas Country at the Crossroads with Robert Miguel, featuring the best country music from the Lone Star State. Live from Uvalde, Texas, the Crossroads of Texas and America.
That's right. We are live at the Opera House. It's Robert Miguel here, your host, upstairs in the White Room. And I've got Dakota Ritter. What's up, my man?
What's up?
Thanks again for being here. We just heard your current single,
Yes.
which is called The Bottle.
Yep.
And, man, so if you listen to UvaldeRadio.net, you'll hear two singles currently called The Bottle, Dakota Song, and then Jenny Dale Lord.
Jenny Dale Lord, yeah.
Yeah, we play a lot of that, too.
I had no idea,
What
dude.
were your thoughts on that when you saw that coming up
Yeah,
on the
like
charts?
Dylan Steen, one of the coolest promoters in the world.
Yeah, he's a
And
great guy, yeah.
He dropped, when Jenny dropped that song, The Bottle, it was almost simultaneously when we dropped them. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's wild that we dropped. And
Yeah.
they have two different sounds and meanings, too, in a way, too. So
Absolutely,
I listened to
yeah.
it, I was like, great song. So it's kind of cool that happened.
Yeah, it's funny when I put together the playlist and the charts. I'm like, oh, the bottle and the bottle. It's like, oh, nice. Similarly, we were just here with Chuck Weimer, who's out of Lytle, and he had a song called "I Will," and then Darren Morris Band.
Yeah, Darren.
beat him to the punch. Put out a song, his hit single called "I Will."
Yeah.
So because Chuck Weimer hadn't yet released it, I think he changed the name. He's going to change the name on it. So yeah, it's funny stories about releasing and whatnot. You almost gotta send out a pre-memo and
Right.
call your friends to
This
make
is
sure
what
it's all
I'm going to
good.
be writing.
So again, kind of almost dark subject matter on the bottle. Good
Yeah.
song. And again, like you said earlier, man, it's kind of a first-person
for
telling.
sure.
So great response on the record. What's your plans for the single? You're going to ride it out for a while? Do you have anything else coming up? Or?
I haven't officially pushed this one with my promoters yet, so we're kind of riding it out. I know we have a couple singles on the back burner. We're thinking about radio wise, like "Shoot Your Shot," but we're writing right now like a heavy writers.
Right.
I'm working. I'm going to be going to Nashville within the next month or two. Meet up with some folks down there. Just kind of reconnecting with a bunch of writers recently, guys like Tyler Booth and things like that. So just kind of connecting and writing and spending as much time as I possibly can before going to the studio, working with a cool producer named Chad Malden outside of East Texas, and just kind of coming up with some cool new content, dancehall style music that I can put out because we want to chase some top 20s again this coming year.
So tell me this, obviously we're just coming off the big pandemic. How did that affect able to kind of get a few songs, just kind of like do some writing? Obviously, you probably didn't have a lot of contact in person. Obviously, the shows are probably slowed down. How did you?
Thing like many other people did in the beginning. It just wasn't feasible to continue to do it all the time with things coming up.
It got very oversaturated too. It seemed like
did.
every minute you turned Facebook on, it was like, another band's
Right.
Get on it.
Yeah, we tried it. We didn't stick with it. That's for sure.
Right.
We did do some writing. We had some shows. Played with some cool cats. Like we played with Randall and John and them over the course of the fall, I guess. But very, very light shows. Not as many. Not as busy. But I took that as an opportunity to kind of re-hone with the band. I kind of did some jumping around and replacing with the band members and kind of working on the live show.
Hey, nothing like a pandemic to find out who's
Right.
really in it to win it, right?
Right.
You find out who's really on board with the band.
Exactly. So yeah, we did that, and just kind of working on the upgrading our sound and stage performances and plots and songs and set lists, just kind of really honing in on a live unit show. So that was kind of cool when we're still building and building. So I basically said I'm going to take it as an opportunity to make 2021 better than 2020 could ever be. So
Now speaking of performances, we'll have Dakota Ritter playing tonight at Broadway, 8307 at 10 p.m. No cover, just walk in, order yourself some pizza, grab yourself some beer, and enjoy Dakota playing on the patio. But when it comes to live music, obviously you can do your thing on your own. But what does the full band show look like? And if it's not, what is it going to look like once everything's kind of the dust is settled?
It's dynamic. I love playing with my guys. There's that old Texas saying, you got to have a fiddle in the band. And so I went the other direction and put a harmonica in the band.
Oh, nice.
And so we have a lot of fun. We like to have some jokes and be a real entertainment. I like to be an entertainer when I'm on stage. So it's a different vibe with the band for sure. Acoustics are fun. They're always fun to connect and be intimate and laugh and talk and sing along. But something about that full band, that first downbeat on the drums and it's on.
Well, give them a shout out. Tell us who's in the band right now. I mean, even if it's not fully together, who do you got working with currently?
Yeah,
what do they do?
Cool guys. My boy Jared Sullivan, he's my bass player. He's He's probably one of the finer bass players in the state. Really great. We work a lot together on melodies and stuff. My guitar player right now, his name's Hudson Northcutt, and he's doing a lot of cool things. He's also playing with a guy named Hayden McBride, who's really coming up, and me and Hudson have been friends for quite some time, so I'm glad to have him in there. And my drummer, Mr. Zach, Zach Bigelow, he's probably one of the cooler, tighter drummers in the scene, and of course my best friend Donnie, he's probably the only harmonica player in the state left, but just kidding. But he's great. So those are my guys right now, and I've been putting them through music boot camp the past 6 months to really elevate our show for the coming years.
I was going to say, what is that regimen like? How often do you guys get together, and are you guys all like around the same area? Or do
We're not.
Okay, so you're having to pull them in from.
Yeah,
it's a little tougher that way, right? Especially in the light of a pandemic, right?
Yeah, our drummer's in Dallas. Luckily my bass player used to be in Arlington, but now he's in Maybank, and my guitar player was in Sulphur Springs. My other harmonica player was in Alva. So we were all within 45 to an hour, and then it started reaching to an hour and a half. And then up until this point, we haven't got together the past couple weeks with us doing a lot of things. I've been working on a lot of stuff, but prior to that point, it was a 3 days a week getting together, working and building, getting the new in-ear monitor set up, and just going to town and working on new lights. And
I'm sure all that technical, so that's
it's been a lot of work,
time, yeah.
a lot of work and time. So we've been working hard.
Do you guys like jam out of a home garage? You have a rehearsal space?
I rent a nice rehearsal studio space out in McKinney, Texas.
Cool.
It works out real well for us. We all go in there. Probably spend about 4 or 5 hours a time. A session, and really just crank out the set that we're working on, give each other feedback, come up with cooler ideas. Hey, let's start with this, let's transition to this, let's add the lights into this. So we're trying to really build a full live, I would say, concert performance element compared to just going out on a Friday night and having live music. It's a lot of the things that I've learned from a lot of the mentors in this business that I get to open and go and meet and be friends with these days. So just trying to take it to the next level.
I think you're right. I think some people either come at it from hey, we're going to get out there, we're just going to do a live show from the hip.
Yeah.
Or some people, it's a very strategic, scheduled, hey, we're going to come out with this song.
Yep.
We're going to evoke this emotion. We're going to go into this. The lights are going to do this. We're going to banter here.
Yep.
And even though it all comes together as a professional, it's actually all, I guess, scripted in a sense. Scheduled. Yeah. So, and that's part of putting on a great experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. So as far as the writing, you mentioned hooking up with some other songwriters, and you've got the band.
Yep.
So when you're putting together your music, is it Dakota Ritter and band? Is it songwriters? Or how does that all gel? And then how does that end up in the credits?
No, I love co-writes. It's my thing. I like writing with other people. I think it's an experience. If you've never had the opportunity to write with someone, everybody thinks and sees perspectives differently and writes and has different ideas. So, and I credit everybody. I like to credit people. I like to give them, credit where credit's due.
The harmonica player gets the credit.
He definitely does, yeah. It's actually funny. Me and Donnie, my harmonica player, we've written probably about 4 songs together over the years,
nice,
and I love them all. And we end our set, with a song called "Freight Train" half the time, and it's kind of our song together we've written, and I like to highlight him on the stage for saying, "Hey, this is the one I wrote with him." And but just being able to come up with cool ideas with people. Me, I'll have a bunch of ideas and be a lyricist, but I'll get stuck in a melody loop from time to time. You've been singing the same songs for a while, you get stuck in that melody loop, and it's nice to have a fresh set of ears and ideas where they come in and say, hey, how about we do it like this and do this? And I think that's how you get better in this business. You don't start out that way, but you definitely end that way.
Well, that's some great information on the music process. We'll talk more about the lyrical process in a minute. But first, let's go ahead again. We're talking to Dakota Ritter. He's playing tonight at Broadway 830 here for our Texas Country the Crossroads interview series and Friday Night Live music series at Broadway. Now, Dakota, we got a song here called "Take My Ring." We're gonna we'll play the song.
Yeah.
And as it was released, and this was kind of a hit for you.
Yeah, this was the big one for me. The start of starts, I should say.
So give us a background on "Take My Ring," what it's about.
Yeah. So this song was a 2 a.m. writer. I was going through a divorce at the time, and I got in a big fight with the ex-wife right before we said we're done, and there was just basically we're butting heads, going in circles. No one's listening to each other. We've seen it, and I basically, I took my ring off.
I've lived it.
See, that's what I said. I've lived it.
Yep.
And I took my ring off and I threw it, and I said, "Just take it. I'm done." And that line, take this ring, is what popped in my head. I put it on a sticky note, and a couple days later at 2 a.m. I just started writing, and that's what came out. We were never going to record that song. I had already had 10 tracks to 12 tracks cut that year on the studio, and I just this one stuck with me, and I told the guys, I said, I just kind of want to record it just so we have it.
Yeah.
And we did, and then I really enjoyed listening to it. To me, it was the most genuine one that I'd written in a while, and so I thought, what the heck, and I pushed it around all my promoters, and they all really loved it, and so we took a shot at it, and
And you got top 20 or
that was let's see, we did top 20 on the East Texas charts, we did top 40 on the Texas country charts, and this one garnered a lot of streams on Spotify. This one kind of really did a cool thing for us. It introduced a different audience every time we played. People really connected to it in their own way, and it's still the one that people like to get out on the dance floor and dance to, and it's still the song that we made a T-shirt for all the women. So
right.
Pink T-shirt says "Take my ring" with the ring on the finger. So
and those will always sell. Too.
It's the one that I still play to this day, and hopefully I can follow it
Basically,
up with a better one.
Basically, it's the moneymaker. Very good. It's the one where your old school fans go sell out.
Right.
All right, well, check it out. This is Dakota Ritter. It's called Take My Ring. It's UvaldeRadio.net.
Girl, you don't have to say anything, and I can read between the lines. You don't have to dance around it. You're just putting off telling me goodbye, and I can tell you ain't in love any longer. So why are we just wasting time? You've already packed up everything, but you forgot one last thing. Take my ring, I don't need it anymore, won't say a thing. When you walk out that door, you held on as long as you could, right until the very end. And it might take me a while to let you go, even if my heart won't agree. Take my ring. These boots found somebody else's bed, so there ain't a point in turning back. Let's leave the past in the past, bury this while we still can. Take my ring, I don't need it anymore, won't say a thing. When you walk out that door, you held on as long as you could, right until the very end. And it might take me a while to let you go, even if my heart won't agree. Take my ring. And I know we promised each other, but we fell short of forever. Take my ring, I don't need it anymore, won't say a thing. When you walk out that door, you held on as long as you could, right until the very end. And it might take me a while to
Texas country at the Crossroads with Robert Miguel. Live from Uvalde, Texas, the Crossroads of Texas and America.
That's right. Need a microphone on. Apparently the microphone needs to be on. Thank you very much. Woo! Professional, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? I had it right. Hey, man, I'm still tired from the Texas Country Awards. That's crazy. But, hey, at least I remembered. At least we didn't do the whole thing with the mics off. That would have been tough. All right, it's Robert Miguel. We're live at Uvalde Grand Opera House. You heard Dakota Ritter, his track "Take My Ring," and that's off one of your records, right? Your releases.
Yeah. That was my that was a single, and then it made a debut record, and then I turned it onto a second EP to keep it going. So it's out there in a couple different.
So let's talk about your recordings and what's out there as far as on disc and or Spotify streaming.
Yeah.
What can they find for you out there?
My first record, No Stone Unturned. It's a 10-track record. It's got a multitude of songs, from songs we've written called Freight Train to The Cowboy Rides Again, all the way to Take My Ring. We've got an EP collection. It's a volume 1. It's got a selection of like Stars Over San Antone, The Bottle, Heartbreaks and Honky Tonks, things like that, Neon Nights. And then we got 3 singles from there, and then of course we're working on another project. I think we're going to drop a couple EPs over the next probably 12 to 15 months.
Now you're younger. You're not an old guy by any means. So what's your take on the release of music? I know that your generation is very, very stream, very digital.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you put out CDs?
I do.
How does that look for you? I know it's a lot to invest also as for an artist as well. So
I did the CD thing. We have it. We had some on our merch tables. We kind of pulled back from the overall cost of it. Being in the world we are with digitally, I have an old soul. In me, I do like the CD collection or the full-length albums, the 10 to 15 songs. But in a world where you put something out and then 2 weeks later somebody else puts something out, the traction shifts.
Yeah.
So the popular thing is come to multiple single releases to EP releases. One of probably the coolest dudes in the industry right now, Tristan Merez. Tristan really had that idea before his debut record, was just singles and EPs all along the way, a few different throughout the year, to keep listeners, listening, and then when they would go somewhere else and listen to something else, when something new dropped, they would come right back to him when something dropped. So it's just a way to kind of keep content out there and keep your listeners engaged, and that's a big thing in this business. So I'm definitely on board with the single EPs these days. I haven't been recently, but now I am, and I'm working on doing. I think we're going to record 20 to 30 songs over the next 6 to 10 months, but
that's a lot of stuff, man.
It is, yeah. But we'll drop them in different,
right.
orders, and so they'll come over the next 24 months in releases. So that's kind of what you got to do with the budgets of this business and the time and the content.
That's interesting, yeah, because that's a lot. But if you have a game plan, you got a schedule that you're going to put it on. Then it just you get all the work done, and then you're kind of just and it keeps you from having to be in 2 modes at once. A lot of artists probably make the mistake of having to be in songwriting, recording, promotion, and touring mode all at once, which can be kind of. But if you get all the singing and all the songwriting done and the recording done first, and you block off 2 years, like you said, to release singles and maybe hit the road, I'm sure that's a lot less pressure in some regards. So very cool, man. And again, real quick, before we get you to play live, give us for those listening, where can we find you online? Give us all your internet stuff.
Definitely find me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, at Dakota Ritter Music. Should pop up the Dakota Ritter profile. Twitter, someone stole my Dakota Ritter tag years ago, so I had to go at D_Coda_Ritter, but you can just search Dakota Ritter and it'll pop up. And then website www.DakotaRitterMusic.com.
Who stole it? Give me the backstory.
I don't know. I was trying to make a Twitter many years ago, and I'm not a big fan of Twitter. I'm really not. I don't like it. I need to get better.
You just get it to hold it for more than.
I need to get better. I need to remember to post on it too, but yeah, I went to go make it, and there was already an at Dakota Ritter, and I thought, well, that's not very fair. I want to be the at Dakota Ritter, so I had to make my own tag name, and I can't really change it now, so it doesn't And I had it as Dakota Ritter Music as the username, but I was like, well, that's kind of weird. We need just my name. So.
You know what's funny is if you look for Uvalde Radio on Twitter, you'll find that there is no at Uvalde Radio, but when I went to go get it, they would only give us Radio Uvalde. So
right?
we're at Radio Uvalde. But there is no Uvalde Radio, so nobody's taking it.
Gotta love Twitter.
So I don't know if you can. I guess they're just changing it up backwards. I don't know what they're. But they're all mad.
Maybe you should have done that at Ritter Dakota.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's available.
Yeah, I'm gonna go at Radio Uvalde and maybe we'll give Uvalde. Good, we're geniuses here. Put it together. All right, so Dakota, you want to do a song for us here, man, live?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I'm going to shut off my mic, and I'm going to put you on Facebook Live as well.
Heck
and
yeah.
Let me turn my camera around. What the heck is going on? Why do I have the selfie camera out? That's not good. So here we go. All right, so here it is. Live at the Uvalde Grand Opera House, upstairs in the White Room. We got Dakota Ritter live here and on UvaldeRadio.net. Tell us what this song's about, sir.
Yeah, I'm going to play this song called Freight Train. This is a song I wrote with my best friend Donnie Burge, and it's kind of like that cliche thing, at some point you've probably been through something that hits you like a freight train, some kind of heartbreak that hits you like a freight train. So this one, we recorded it a while back, but we're going to re-record this song. It's kind of changed. It's changed in meaning and it's changed in sound since we started playing this one live at the Vin. So we're going to re-record this one and do some cool things with it. But this one's called Freight Train.
Hey, Martin, to pour me another round. One for me, one for the woman who walked out. Here's my keys, just put them down. I'll be catching the next train out of this town. She was my rodeo. It's on my way to life. She was a light in the dark of the night. She was a moment, she was a plan, a one-way ticket to a family man. She's the only song I can unplay. Buddy, I think it's safe to say she hit me like a freight train. 12 beers in, I poured that final round. Down by the tracks, kicking up the dusty ground. I feel the rumble, I hear that lonesome sound. Yeah, the steel wheels disappearing, making my soul come unwound. She was my rodeo, 8 seconds on my way to life. She was a light in the dark of the night. She was a moment, she was a plan, a one-way ticket to a family man. She's the only song I can unplay. Buddy, I think it's safe to say she hit me like a freight train. She hit me like a freight train. And I gotta get on down these tracks, 'cause I'm heading north and I ain't looking back. She was my rodeo, 8 seconds on my way to life. She was a light in the dark of the night. She was a moment, she was a plan, one-way ticket to a family man. She's the hit me like a freight train. She hit me like a freight train. She hit me like a freight train. Eight more tin to pour me another round. One for me, one for the woman who walked out.
Yeah, there you go. Woo! Dakota Ritter right there, Freight Train, live at the Uvalde Grand Opera House. We're upstairs in the White Room having a good time, man. Dakota, that was amazing, bro.
Thank you.
That was insane. What do you say we just keep it going, man? You want to do it? Take a sip of your beer. Enjoy. Have some beer. And give us another one, man. I'm going to keep you on the Facebook Live.
That's cool. Well, I'll play you a new one I've been working on.
All right.
I've just been... I've been writing this for like a week or two, just going back and forth. So it's brand new. It's gonna change probably too. But.
Gotta feel the weight of a broken heart to appreciate when a real thing comes along. You might think it ain't in your cards, no matter what you do, just get it all wrong. Everyone's in a blue moon. Yeah, you meet that someone that you can't stand to lose, and every once in a while get lost in their smile. And no matter how hard you resist, find a love so true, every once in a blue moon. You'll probably forget every heartache. You'll forgive all your past mistakes. And time is the only price you've paid. You can bet that they were worth the wait. Every once in a blue moon, yeah, you meet that someone that you can't stand to lose. And every once in a while you get lost in their smile. No matter how hard you resist, find a love so true, every once in a blue moon. Every once in a blue moon, yeah, you meet that someone that you can't stand to lose. Every once in a while you get lost in their smile. And no matter how hard you resist, find a love so true, every once in a blue moon. Every once in a blue moon.
like that.
There you go. That's awesome. Dakota Ritter live at Uvalde Grand Opera House upstairs in the White Room. I'm Robert Miguel. Thank you guys for tuning in on Facebook. We're going to close that little video down right now and get back to the live interview. Man, Dakota, good stuff, man. We talked about kind of your process on the music.
Yeah.
And I found it interesting, a couple of songs we mentioned earlier. Lyrics, obviously, you bring from a real personal place.
Yeah.
And putting yourself out there in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I like to do. I'm just naturally a storyteller. For instance, that one I just started working on, I was. It's kind of funny. This title popped in. I write a lot of stuff from titles.
Uh-huh.
So a title popped in my head. Once in a Blue Moon. Had no idea what to write to it. I kept it in my phone for 3-4 weeks, maybe even 6 weeks. And it started to take initially it was taking a turn at, it's that one person you think about every once in a blue moon.
Right,
kind of a sadder direction. And I was like, I don't want that. I want it to be more of a wholesome, loving direction. And it just popped in my head, a few weeks ago, thankfully to somebody, that's pretty special in my life. And, they kind of reminded me that sometimes you just meet somebody every once in a blue moon. And I thought that was such a cool, unique idea, and I ran with it. And that's what I've come up with so far. So that's kind of how I write. I just kind of write the titles and come up with the story that's behind the title.
and you are the primary lyricist for all your
usually
music.
I do have 3 or 4 good co-writers that I write with, and then again I'm trying to branch out this year.
Mm-hmm.
I have some work that I'll be doing along the way. I've been in talks with several other artists for the year to kind of branch out and do a track or 2 with them over the next 18 months or so. And then, of course, going up to Nashville to meet with some people. So that'll be kind of cool, kind of expand the horizon and really just kind of focus on growth and overall achieving the sound and the song that we want to achieve. Because I have such a goal and an idea in mind. And sometimes you think you achieve it, but then you play that same song for a year or 2 and it changes as you play it. And it takes a whole new direction for you, and you're like, dang, I wish I would have recorded it this way, So trying to not have those moments as you grow continuously in the business is try and do it that perfect way the first time and be good with it. So, well,
you've already come a long way. I mean, just in talking to you and learning what I have today, you've already hit some pretty good, I guess, landmarks in your career. So let's go way back, because we didn't really go here.
Yeah.
What are the influences, man? What were you listening to when you were a kid? Who got you to pick up the guitar? What was the inspiration to even start music to begin with?
The funniest, and this is going to sound crazy. So my granddad, who I consider to be one of my father figures, he was really honestly listening to the old school stuff. Wayland, he was a huge Conway Twitty fan. Oh, nice. And I'm going to be honest with you, I was riding in the truck and I didn't connect to it. Nowadays I do. I listen back to it and I'm like, woo, but it just wasn't what I was listening to. My mom was a big 80s hair metal fan. I can't tell you
look at the shirt I'm wearing today. Nice.
Hey, I can't tell you how many Def Leppard, Poison, Whitesnake shows I've been to in my life as a kid.
That's awesome. So you're that kid. So you're basically like my kids.
Oh, yeah.
I brought them to all those shows.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to 80s rock and roll, from White Lion to, freaking Motley Crue.
Nice.
And, but then I started to connect with 90s country. And I really loved the sounds and uniqueness of not just the rhyme schemes, but the overall instrumentation, the way things were produced in the studio with the reverbs on the drums, and just kind of the style, that you don't hear as much anymore.
Well, we've talked about that, I think, here on the show with other guests, in that, a lot of hair metal fans, a lot of melodic rock, listeners of louder rock music, went the way of 90s country because grunge took over the rock airwaves.
Yep.
And then all the rockers kind of gravitated towards Alan Jackson and Garth Brooks and those because there were lead guitars and there were drums and it was a little bit more rock, and the production value was a little bit better in the 90s. They took it to another level. And then, of course, a lot of the guys that are my age and probably your mother's age, we were starting to grow out of the rebellion aspect of it all, and we kind of nestled right into that 90s country vibe too. So it makes total sense, but that sounds like you got a good musical upbringing as far as I'm concerned.
I was listening to things, and I think my cool things in the 90s, I love Clay Walker.
Yeah.
Clay Walker, John Wolfe reminds me of a modern Clay. I love, Shenandoah, but all the way to Toby, you name it. But I just love that generation of music, and I like the guys that are continuing to play that stuff, like Josh and Randall. But I still have a little bit of inner rock to me because my mom. So
right.
I got to swing both ways, in the red dirt world. So
and I think you made a good point in that Texas country in particular is very much an extension of 90s country.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're kind of done with the Nashville dance sound,
100%.
And that kind of rap and backbeat stuff that they're doing, and they're not even embarrassed about it. They think that's good country music. And I mean,
snap, clap.
Yeah, and there's a place for it, don't get me wrong, but that used to be the minority of country music, and now it's the majority of Nashville music. Whereas, I mean, when you listen, like you said, John Wolfe, Randall King, a lot of the current Texas country artists are very seated in the 90s, the 90s sensibility, but production value and melodiousness of the way the country music was in the 90s. So, yeah, that's great stuff, man. So, as far as getting those the lyrics together, or do you find yourself pulling more from personal experience, or is it just like, hey, a concept, like you said, or is it a mixture of the two? What do you, I guess when it's all over and said and done with, are you looking to be... You're looking to find people looking at you like a Bob Dylan type, like lyricist? You want to make like your lyrics to be art, or are you just trying to have a good time?
I could say 50-50. Yeah. I mean, maybe even 70-30. The lyrics mean a lot to me. When I'm listening to a song, I'm listening to the lyrics. It's just something that I really enjoy about the process of songwriting is how to word and tell that story. I think it's a big part of songwriting. But as well as I love the good time, how can we make this song sound the very best it can in the coolest way as possible. So, but yeah, I mean, I mix it up. I do take from personal dynamics, but I also know that sometimes too personal can be too much. I took a chance on that with Take My Ring, but at the same time, I did keep it as generic as I possibly can so other listeners can connect in their own way. But concepts, a lot of the stuff is I'll say this happened to me in some form, and it'll give me an idea for a song, and then I'll put it into a concept and say, how many people have probably been through something like this,
right?
Good, bad, or the ugly, and write it out. And Shoot Your Shot, I wrote a song like that about a guy that was at a bar, who was looking at the prettiest woman in the whole room, and he never got up and said anything to her. And I asked him, why didn't you say nothing? And he said, I just didn't know what to say. And I said, sometimes you just got to go for it. It's 50-50. You got to shoot your shot. That's what I said. Right, yeah. And on the way home from Natchitoches after that show, I started writing Shoot Your Shot in my truck. And about a year and a half later, I recorded it. And now it's just about, sometimes you got to just go out there and shoot your shot, and you never know what's going to happen with the prettiest lady in the room. So things like that happen. I think it's just kind of the concept that turns into something bigger and better when you get within a room with cool writers.
Well, I like the idea that you're observational and that you're using what you're saying, just a general life experience, and going, hey, mental note, let's get that down, and then a year and a half later, you got something to show for it. Exactly. Very, very cool. Yeah. Well, again, we're here with Dakota Ritter. You can see him live tonight. Uvalde, listen up, man. Tonight from 7 to 10 p.m. at Broadway, 830 100 East Main Street. Get out there, grab yourself some delicious food, get some ice-cold craft beer. It's going to be a beautiful night on the patio this evening. Amen. Dakota Ritter will share his art and his stories with you from 7 to 10, and I've got one more recorded song we can play, and then maybe we'll get back and close it up with a live version of your current single, The Bottle, okay?
That's cool.
So I guess give us some information about Stars over San Antonio. I figured we're going to save this over last because we're pretty close to San Antonio, so there must be a story there. So what you got on that?
I was challenged by a friend of mine. They said, I wrote a song on my last record, too, called Heartbreaks and Honky Tonks. I actually was on radio with a radio DJ, and she said, and we kind of said, all I ever write is heartbreaks and honky tonks, and thought that was cool, so I started writing a song about it. And then my friend after that, which she's amazing, she's done a lot of social media, did some previous tour management for me, but now she just kind of does social media. But shout out to Lauren. She said, you don't ever write any love songs. And I said, well, I don't really know if I can consider I've been in a real thing we call love, but I took a hack at it, and this idea in my head popped in my brain called to rhyme Stars in San Antonio, because it was an S and an S. Mm-hmm. And I took that rhyme scheme into the song and tried to rhyme my emotion with a city that was around Texas, and it all met back into no matter what, I'll hang the stars over San Antonio. That's our meeting place. No matter where we're at and what we're doing, we always come back spot. And it kind of worked out. It was actually one of the cooler writings that we've done from a unique lyricism standpoint. But I tried to make it as edgy as possible, but as light as possible. So that was kind of a tough one in the studio, but I'm still really happy with the song, the way it turned out.
Well, very good. Let's check it out. Again, this is Dakota Ritter, Stars Over San Antonio. This is UvaldeRadio.net.
Danced my days in Dallas, burnt the asphalt in Austin, hung my lasso in Laredo, found trouble in Tyler, got lonely up in Lubbock, so I headed for Houston, and on my way to Wichita, who knew I'd find you? 'Cause for you I'd hang the moon, there's nothing else I'd rather do than spend all my time loving on you. And if you ever get lost along the road, I'll hang the stars over San Antonio. I'll be wide awake in Waco. If you're passing through Pasadena, we can kill some time in Kerrville. And I'll make sure to call from Corpus, write a letter from Longview, book a straight back here from Beaumont, where I'll meet you in the middle. 'Cause for you I'd hang the moon, there's nothing else I'd rather do than spend all my time loving on you. And if you ever get lost along the road, I'll hang the stars over San Antonio. And I'll make that drive from Dayton, light the way in the passes. Ain't stopping out in Gainesville, I'm headed for Abilene. 'Cause for you I'd hang the moon, there's nothing else I'd rather do than spend all my time loving on you. And if you ever get lost along the road, I'll hang the stars over San Antonio. Over San Antonio. Over San Antonio. Danced my days in Dallas, burnt the asphalt in Austin, hung my lasso in Laredo, found trouble in Tyler.
Live from Uvalde, Texas, the crossroads of Texas and America. Texas Country at the Crossroads with Robert Miguel.
All right. We're live at the Uvalde. Whoa, we got some claps and some woos. UvaldeRadio.net. Yeah, it's Robert Miguel at the Opera House upstairs in the White Room, and that was Dakota Ritter, Stars Over San Antonio. Really, really cool song. And that's kind of like got that classic country, clever lyrics
That was
going
the goal.
on. You know,
That was
the
definitely
alliteration
the goal.
with the cities, and
Yeah.
there's another song that's on the air right now that's very similar to that. And I'm not thinking of it right now, but it's on the Texas country. Oh, it's that is it Plano, Texas? No, it's not even that one. I can't even think of what it is, but I'm going to figure it out later after you're gone. But Dakota is here. When was that one released on that one?
Stars of San Antonio, we released that one in, I want to say it was August of 20.
Okay, that's pretty new stuff.
Yeah, it was kind of the content to keep content out. We did put it to radio. It broke top 100. I don't remember what it peaked at, but we didn't push it as hard as we did on the last single. It was just kind of more a content filler during COVID.
Yeah, something to do. Otherwise, people forget you.
Exactly. It was just one of those things, and it was a little elongated. I think it was just barely above that 4-minute marker, but we chose to go with it anyways. And but I think once things are, we've got our new stuff in, we're going to figure out what's to really push real hard with our team of promoters that, we've been working with the past couple of years. So.
Well, man, we were totally excited that you came all the way down here to Uvalde to hang out with us, man. It's a real treat to have you up here, especially because you're from the North Texas, Northeast Texas area. So I've got some friends out in that area, so I know the drive. I just did it this last weekend a couple of times. So thank you again, man, from the bottom of my heart. Your music is fantastic. We love what you're about, and we hope that you can come out here and maybe bring the band once everything gets opened up, man.
So much fun.
We've got a really cool theater here. We're going to get Kayla to talk about it a little bit, and maybe even give you a quick little rundown tour if we have time. But right now, let's go ahead and we started off the show with your current single. It's called The Bottle, and maybe we can get you to do kind of a live version of that. Is that cool?
That'll be cool. Here we go.
He always knew how to make mama cry. He left her all alone, each and every day. You could hear him start to rage when he chased it cold. Daddy was a good man with a broken soul, and mama left her ring on the table with a rose, and he lost her heart the day the bottle wouldn't close. And I know he loved her, but he loved Jack a little more. Now he drinks all day long, even more than before, and he drinks that bottle like a sailor on the seas. He drinks that bottle till he's weak in the knees, and the devil tied the knot with each and every sip. If the bottle couldn't kill him, then the loneliness sure will. Recall a single day the bottle didn't find his hand, but without that Johnny Walker Daddy couldn't stand. So he calls on Captain Morgan to steer his lonely ship. He'll drink the 7 seas until he forgets, and he drinks that bottle like a sailor on the seas. Yeah, he drinks that bottle till he's weak in the knees, and the devil tied the knot with each and every sip. If the bottle couldn't kill him, then the loneliness sure will. Daddy's been gone a few years now, and I've seen it through his lids. My heart don't know how or when to give, so I left an empty bottle sitting on his grave so he could keep drinking while he rides the waves. And he drank that bottle like a sailor on the seas. Yeah, he drank that bottle till he was weak in the knees. And the devil tied the knot with each and every seal. No, the bottle couldn't kill him, but the loneliness sure did. Sure did.
Nice. There you go. Dakota Ritter, man. The Bottle live here on UvaldeRadio.net, live at the Uvalde Grand Opera House, man. Okay, I'm going to say this, man, because I got some chills going on, man. I seriously, like, that's crazy, man. I mean, like, I got the goosebumps going on, and it usually only happens when the ladies sing. You know what I'm saying? So there you go, buddy. Good stuff, man. Dakota, it has been really cool getting to know you. This has been one of my favorite interviews we've done so far, man. So, hey, Caitlin, come on over here real quick. You got any words for first of all, for Dakota, man?
Awesome job.
Thank you.
So, real quick, give us the plugs on what's going on at the Opera House.
Okay, so to recap, last weekend we had the Texas Comedies here doing their original comedy. It was a musical of Bonnie and Clyde, and it was awesome. So if you missed it, so sorry. Wah wah. You missed out on a great show. They were a fantastic cast, and I've had all of the songs stuck in my head for like a week. So... Upcoming shows, we have William Lee Martin here on April the 10th at 7 o'clock. He's a comedian. He does not use foul language in his show, so
but it's a little sexy.
It's a little, yeah, it's adult, but it's not like vulgar.
It's a great guy.
So he's really funny. Tickets are on sale now on our website, uvaldeoperahouse.org. Then we have on April 16th and 17th, UPOP auditions. We are doing Once Upon a Pine, The Adventures of Pinocchio. We want kids ages 10 to 18 for the month of July. So if your kid needs a summer theater program, bring them to auditions and we'll find them a place in the show. Then, so excited, community theater is back. April 23rd, 24th, and 25th, we have our community theater production of Father of the Bride, directed by the lovely Karen Miller Barnes. And I'm going to really fast read all of the people who are in the show. Awesome. Ready? Okay. Starring Daryl Zimmerman, Gabriela Patino-Diaz, Eliza Casey, Carson Hebert, Emilio Amaya, Wesley Casey, Trevor Blenkinsop, Cashlyn Varnon, Anna Packer, Sharon Pope, Andre Riojas, Annalisa Fulcher, Mary Gallagher, Joey Trevino, Quattro Varnon, and Chloe. So we're really excited to have a great group of people to do this awesome show. It's a comedy, so come on out. The tickets are on sale today, so you can get tickets today. Again, our ticket website is at uvaldeoperahouse.org. Okay, Robert.
Yes.
Remember how when I started here, you were like, let's do a trivia night in May.
Are we going to do it?
We're going to do it. Tell them what it is.
All right. We're going to do May the 4th be with you, Star Wars Trivia, right?
Yes!
All right!
Star Wars Trivia Night on Tuesday, May the 4th. So we'll do that in the annex. It's going to be really fun. Then, okay, we've been teasing it for 2 weeks.
I know, right?
So May 22nd.
It's official!
It's official!
It's officially official!
May 22nd, we have our Texas Country at the Crossroads, the concert, featuring...
Man, where's the drum roll, man?
Featuring the Sam Cox Band, September Moon, and Jenny Dale Lord.
Woo! Yeah!
So
Jenny!
It's going to be an awesome show. We're really excited. Then in June, we've got the Honey Festival going on in downtown Uvalde, and the Opera House is sponsoring the street dance on Friday, June 11th. And we are actually going to have the Teague Brothers Band come and play the street dance. So it's going to be really fun. And then we've also got live music on Saturday, June 12th. We're still fleshing out all the details, but
we know Jeff
Jacobs' band will be here, and the Solis brothers from Castroville will be here as well. Then July 6th through 31st, that is our U-Pop Summer Theater program. Those are the dates. If you have to miss a week, that's okay. So still come out and do it. The production dates for U-Pop, Once Upon a Time, The Adventures of Pinocchio, will be July 30th and 31st. Then, just some little teasers. August, we're going to have another trivia night. It's probably going to be The Office.
Ooh.
So, get ready.
Yes.
And then October, we are also having our 130th birthday celebration, Foursquare Friday, open house. We'll figure it all out later, but that's the tentative plan.
That'll be a big deal.
It's going to be a big deal. And then the well-received original series that we started last year, Mystery at the Opera House, will happen again the last weekend of October. So we're writing a whole new thing. It's going to be a completely different storyline and a completely different whole thing, but still Mystery at the Opera House. So we're really excited.
Very good. Wow. We got pretty much a full calendar. That's good stuff, man. It's good to see a full schedule of events here at the Uvalde Grand Opera House. And again, thank you to Kaylin, Camille, Matt, everybody who puts together their artistic talents and efforts to make great things happen. Theater and live music in Uvalde at the Uvalde Opera House. Again, the website is uvaldeoperahouse.org. Again, thank you to our very special guest, Mr. Dakota Ritter, all the way from Jefferson or wherever he came from. Man, making the big long trip to Uvalde, Texas. Don't miss him tonight, 7 to 10 p.m. at Broadway 830. That's 100 East Main Street. They've got great food, great drinks. Dakota, what are you drinking tonight?
Probably some Michelob Ultra.
So, Michael, you going to do any shots? You a whiskey man at all?
I'm more of a tequila man myself.
Wow, that is a rarity around here. Oh, we have to get on that. So that's good. So tell me this, for the live show tonight, what can we expect as far as, you're going to do obviously some original stuff.
Yeah.
Any cover songs? Going to mix it up?
For sure, yeah. We're going to, it's probably, to be honest with you, I think it's been 2 years since I've done a solo acoustic show.
Wow.
Usually my acoustic shows consist of, at minimum, a duo, me and my harmonica player.
Right.
But usually a trio, me and my lead guy on an acoustic and my harp.
Feeling nervous? It's okay, be honest.
No, I think it's going to be kind of fun. I'm going to try and just kind of be a little bit more intimate with it and kind of talk about the songs and have fun, do some sing-along, some 90s country in there. Definitely going to break out some 90s and some...
I'm going to throw out some of that hair metal. I'll jump up on there with you, man.
I'll do some definitely...
I got my Poison shirt on right now. I got my Poison shirt. No, you're going to be the star, man. Again, Dakota Ritter tonight, 7 o'clock. We're going to get you over there, get you fed, and get a couple beers in you.
Yeah.
And get ready for the big show. I guess go ahead and give us the information on where we can find you online and all that.
Yeah,
again.
just go follow me on Instagram, Facebook. At Dakota Ritter Music is the tag name, or you can just search Dakota Ritter. Connect with us, message us. I'll always respond, and you can also find me on Twitter, even though I'm probably not usually on Twitter. But yeah, or you can just connect with us on our website, www.dakotarittermusic.com. Bands in town. You can find our dates. You can find new content, and stay up to tune with us. Go follow us on Spotify, Apple Music, all that good stuff, and look for some new music coming because we're going to drop some new stuff later on this year.
Well, Dakota, I got to say, man, I'm just really excited about meeting you, man. And your music is something that is really, really above bar. So thank you for sharing with us. And maybe we can get you to do the full band together.
I would love it. We'll come party.
Well, we'll see if Kaylin and Matt approve. And I ain't going to speak for them yet, but I think they like you. But let's go ahead and wrap up Texas Country at the Crossroads. This next act will be performing tomorrow. We've got another series called Music in the Air. We do it every Saturday at the Hangar 6 Air Cafe right there at the airport, at the Garnerfield Airport. And Mr. Chuck Weimer from Lytle will be performing tomorrow from 5 to 8 p.m. Here's his current song. It's called Home Run. And we're going to be doing a little interview with him tomorrow morning, I believe about 10 a.m. So tune in for that. This is UvaldeRadio.net. Wrapping it up. Texas Country at the Crossroads. I'm holding up my sign. No applause. All right. Here it is. Home Run, Chuck Weimer.
Blue
jeans and bonfires, red barns and barbed wire. Rolling down that old dirt road was the only life I'd known. Superstition sunrise, breaking dawn dancing in her eyes. Times like that I realize everything's gonna be alright. Looking back I wouldn't change it if I could. I made a few mistakes but my life's pretty good. Life throws you a curveball, gotta sit back on it, take your time and then just swing away. Sometimes you strike out, don't let it stop you from stepping back up to the plate. Get in the box, take a breath, loosen up and have a little fun. Find your pitch, let it ride, watch it fly when you hit life's home run. 18, I was wearing green, traded in my old blue jeans. Give me a gun, give me a dog, then they shipped me overseas. All things come to an end, I made some real good friends. Some I see from time to time and some I won't see again. Looking back I wouldn't change it if I could. I made a few mistakes but my life's pretty good. Life throws you a curveball, gotta sit back on it, take your time and then just swing away. Sometimes you strike out, don't let it stop you from stepping back up to the plate. Get in the box, take a breath, loosen up and have a little fun. Find your pitch, let it ride, watch it fly when you hit life's home run. I did my share of fouls, sometimes I didn't score. Every time I'd swing and miss, it made me want it that much more. Life throws you a curveball, gotta sit back on it, take your time and then just swing away. Sometimes you strike out, don't let it stop you from stepping back up to the plate. Get in the box, take a breath, loosen up and have a little fun. Find your pitch, let it ride, watch it fly when you hit life's home run.